Mr. Harrison Price from the historic Wall Center. Rob Williams is the national sports editor of the Daily Hive and its Offside Sports Vertical, at Rob the Hockey Guy on social. And he joins us on Thursdays. We all got the black memo, I see. A funeral already after one game?
It's in honor of the seats, Matt. It's in honor of the seats.
Oh, right. Yeah. Honor of
because we knew Rob was coming on. Yeah.
How are you?
Great, guys. I had to see the seats with my own eyes yesterday at practice. I took a little step down the steps there, and yeah, we got cup holders. We got cup holders.
Do you get any reviews from people sitting in them? Like we thought they were a little thin.
Looked a little thin.
You need to know people in like high society, I think, that
can
afford
you?
those seats. No. Okay. Some interesting quirks on the seats. I thought it was interesting because they've got the cup holders, and it looks like they can, looks like every, the manufacturer, I think, sent the seat, and every seat comes with a cup holder, you'd presume. There were no cup holders on the seats because the seat, it's on the back of the seat, of course, right? There was no cup holders in the back of the seat. If you're in like a maroon seat facing a black seat, right on the edge there where it changes, I noticed there were no cup holders for the people in the maroon seats. I don't understand that.
That's gonna be a lot of dehydrated people on the edge there. That's a lot of dehydration. That's too bad.
But we got games to talk about now, guys.
We do. We do. But before we get there, I noticed the players' entrance is now adorned with the skate logo and skate colors, and of course the seats are black. Are we making a transition here, Rob? Do you think there's a chance that because of all the black decor now at Rogers Arena, we are slowly morphing back into skate as a primary logo?
No. They painted the outside of the stadium, down by the plaza. They painted that blue. I recall hearing a long time. It's a few years. This information is a few years old now, but I heard that Aquilini likes blue and green, and that's the color that the team switched back to early in his ownership was blue and green. I think that's what his preference is, and I don't think that would change. I know there's dollar signs could change that, but I don't think that it's going to change the black.
Speaking of Aquilini, what do you think he thought of seats being available for this game right up to the opening faceoff?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the big one for me is that I wrote a story on this in the last week, that the prices actually dropped.
Sneakily dropped.
Not just for this game, but like across the board, there were games all season. We noted that you couldn't get in for $100, when seats went on sale in the summer. $109 was the cheapest seat we saw available to the general public. You can get in cheaper if you have your pack holder or in some other way, but $109 for the general public. That was the cheapest price, and I was like, wow, like that is a big jump, because a year ago it was around $60 was about the price that you could get into, and they, you go on Ticketmaster now, you can see seats for as low as about $90 now.
So it's gonna be like an airplane. You're gonna be sitting beside somebody, and the two of you will have paid different prices on Ticketmaster.
They've never really come out and said that that's what they're doing now. I thought that was a very interesting decision. I know they have like different things, sort of different rules internally where they don't undercut season ticket pricing or pack holder pricing, but the general public price was so much higher, guys, than what pack holders and season ticket members paid. That most games the cheapest price was a resale price. So that's not good for empty seats, right? Because you're just selling, the same seat is selling over and over and over. So yeah, I think there was something within the Canucks where they went, whoop, okay, maybe we pushed the prices up a little too quickly here.
So then let's ask this, Rob, because you track it. What you want to go to a Canucks game? What's the best course of action to get in for the cheapest dollar amount?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how many games you want to go to in a year. If you want to go to, if you're someone that really just 2 games a year, try to find the best price you can on Ticketmaster. Try to find a game that you get the best value for, because each game is priced differently. That Maple Leafs game, like, that's going to cost you, right? But
Find
every now
it
and then
Tuesday versus Columbus or something like that, right?
Yeah, but like Tuesday versus Columbus is going to be like, you kind of want that price category, but one that's like a little bit sneakily, a sneaky good one where maybe it's a Thursday against I don't know, maybe Nashville or whatever team that they've maybe priced a little low. You probably want to aim for something like that. That's what you do if you're just wanting to go 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
If you want to go to, like, I would say probably, like, if you want to go to like 6 or more games a year, I would say you probably want to get a quarter season ticket pack, because and buy the cheapest section, because that cheapest section is the one that gets sold quickest. It's also the easiest one to offload if you want to resell it. So the opportunity to buy in the cheapest section, I think, is actually that's probably the best way to do it economically.
All right, let's move on to the game. We'll ask you the poll. What scared you most? Goaltending, defense, Patterson, or nothing? Or feel free to go off the board.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, that was an alarming game. I mean, it's just one game. Tocchet, I think, can pull back on the reins on everything, but I think it was probably goaltending, guys, because I feel like the defensive play. I think we all understand what happened there. The Canucks got up early in the game. They're playing Calgary, who's not expected to be doing much this season. They thought it was going to be an easy game. I think all the fans did as well. I think we were expecting a big blowout like last year. And then the game slowly got away from them, right? And they played a little too loose. But I think that's something that could be correctable. I think Tocchet just needs to, and I think he's going to, I think this will set off alarm bells for him. And he spoke about it too, like talking about river hockey and summer hockey and all these kinds of things, to make sure that that everyone smartens up going forward. But they also couldn't get a save, and I think the same things that we were a little bit worried about Shilov's about in the past kind of reared itself again. Hey, just one game. All goalies have bad games from time to time, and the team wasn't playing amazing in front of them. But that's Thatcher Demko in net. The Canucks probably come away with a 4-2 win, and everyone's feeling pretty good about things and going, "Well, they didn't play great, but they had the lead. What do you expect?"
Yeah. The Shilov's kind of leaned into the criticism. The one lone criticism that people had of him, he leaned into it quite a bit. He's fine when you just need an acrobatic save out of him, isn't he? I mean, it's just his Achilles heel is one hell of an Achilles heel.
Yeah, I mean, it's that point shot that just gets through, right? It's just it's not a bullet from the point. It just sort of finds its way through. That's he has trouble tracking pucks on those long shots. I think it's I don't think there's any doubt about that. And like, analyzing goaltending is really hard. Like, the average person has trouble doing it, like, maybe unless you're a goalie yourself. And I feel like it's really interesting that, like, it's so evident to see, like, oh, another point shot. Like, remember those Bouchard, wristers in the playoffs that got by him. Like, that's very, very concerning. And if fans and media are noticing it here, you can bet that other teams and their scouting know it also. So he hasn't played a lot of games in the NHL. There hasn't been a lot of time to scout him in the past. What happens now that there's more of a book out on him? How will teams exploit that? And it's going to be fascinating to see going forward.
Fans got drama at the very least. I mean, we
exciting game.
I mean,
what's Ed Willis's book, like Never Born? Or whatever?
Yeah.
And I mean, that was that game, right?
Fair enough.
I mean, like look at Miller, right? Like, giving the puck away, like, for a shorthanded goal against, the big hit, fight, dramatic goal, big clapper down the wing. I mean, that was JT Miller special, I thought. But yeah, like, the thing that was alarming, I think back to your poll question, maybe I'll go like another option on that one. The thing that was alarming was that the things that we were worried about all kind of happened, right? If you were worried about Shilovs and how he'd play and how he tracked the puck, yeah, that was a tough night. If you were worried about Elias Pettersson, he didn't have a terrible game, but he wasn't all that noticeable either, right? I think people are predicting that he's going to be like top 10 in scoring in the entire NHL. Wasn't a terribly noticeable game for him. Daniel Sprong, I mean, got the goal, great. But the issue with him is his defensive play. That goal that in the second period that he was on for, I watched that entire sequence in the defensive zone. Like, he looked like he was absolutely lost. Like, he did not know what position. It was like his first time playing hockey. He did not know what position he was playing. I thought that was alarming. The Desharnais Forbert pairing, people were worried about that. That wasn't very good. So it was one of those things where, like, the things, and I think that's the concerning part. Like the things that you were maybe worried about coming into the game, they gave you more reason to worry.
Yeah, that's pretty astute. And now, people are going to be tapping their foot on a few of those issues. So how quickly do any of those things come to pass? And it's one thing to criticize Forbert and Desharnais. They are merely Derek Forbert and Vinny Desharnais. But as you say, mediocre for Elias Pettersson, whilst not bad. That's not good enough when people look at the price tag, is it? I mean, he gets held to a different standard than Shilovs, Forbert, and Desharnais.
Absolutely. And just think, I mean, think if it had gone the other way, if he'd had a great game and him and DeBrusk looked like they'd been playing together for 5 years, this town would absolutely be buzzing about that. And there's still time on this, right? Like, I do think this is the thing with the preseason strategy where they didn't really play together. I'm not just Pettersson, DeBrusk, but just like the whole team. They didn't have a lot of reps in preseason. They kind of just, rested people and made sure people didn't get injured, that sort of thing. I held back criticism because 1 year ago they did the exact same thing. Didn't look very good in preseason at all, and then the regular season started and it was guns a-blazing, right? So it worked 1 year ago. So can't criticize them too harshly. If it worked a year ago, why not do something similar again this season? But they kind of did look like a bit of a disjointed team. Like they did look like, oh, okay, who's standing where in the D zone. So yeah, I think it's a little concerning from that standpoint.
Well, it's back to concern season. October through April. If you you don't have to look too far, you can find a concern. I'm more concerned with how this hit is going to go on Thursdays, Rob. We need you to be digging in here and finding out what's going on at the arena, beyond seat beat, color beat, paint beat, all the beats inside RRA. Thanks for this, my friend, and we'll catch up next week.
We got beer prices and stuff too.
Beer prices.